Today is time to sew the front and back pieces of the pants. So line the front and back pieces with right sides together. Place the back on the table with right side up and then the front with right side down. So align them with right sides together and pin them along the inseam. Pin and align and pin first the crotch seam right here. So this has to match. Pin here and then pin down one leg until you get to the hem and then pin down the other leg also. Pin everything in place and then you are going to sew with a regular thread and regular straight stitch with a 1 cm 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So now it's time to sew. You can start at the bottom of one leg, sew up the leg, then pivot here at the inseam and then at the crotch seam and then sew down the other leg. Then you are going to finish the raw edge with a serger or overlocker and then press the seam allowance to the front. So you usually press the seam allowances to the back, but now you're going to press to the front because you're going to top stitch the front legs, the front of the pants to the seam allowance. So top stitch really close to the fold all along the front. After that, you're going to prepare to memory press the hems. So this will help make it easier to hem the legs later. So this is the top stitch that we made earlier. And now we are going to press the bottom edge of each leg up to the wrong side. Press it first 1 cm 3/8 of an inch and then another 1.5 cm half an inch. So press it and just open it with your fingers. So this is the top stitch. And now we are going to align again the front and the back with right sides together and align them along the side seams. So align the side seams and then sew down each leg from the top to the bottom of the leg. So align everything and pin in place. Now sew, finish the seam allowance, right here, finish the raw edge and then press it to the back. So the side seams are pressed towards the back, like this. So press it and now before anything else we can already hem the pants. So refold the bottom edges of the legs by the pressed lines and pin everything and top stitch at 1 cm 3/8 of an inch from the folded bottom and catch the folded line on the wrong side. Catch the folded edge on the inside of the legs. So use top stitching thread and sew only one row of top stitching. There is no need to sew 2 rows of top stitching. You can sew all around the leg, the opening, and then we are moving on to the side seams. So the side seams on jeans usually have a top stitch right here on the top, and you are going to do the same. So just mark with a pin where the back pocket ends, where the bottom of the back pocket is, and now you are going to top stitch the seam allowance, the back to the seam allowance along that side seam from the top of the pants to the bottom of the back pocket. Now that you have the hems pinned and the side seams pinned, we can start sewing by hemming the pants. So the hem is done, and now moving on to the side seam. You may need to wiggle the pants a bit to fit them in the sewing machine, so just open up the zipper to have more wiggle room, and then place the fabric under the foot, and now make sure that you have the seam allowance turned to the back, because you are sewing really close to the edge, to the side seam edge, and on this area that is bulky you may need to pull a bit the fabric, just pull it a bit until it goes through, and now continue sewing until you reach the pin, and then backstitch. So it should look like this. So now the front and the back is all assembled, and we are ready to move on to the waistband. So we have the side seam top stitched, and we have the knee patches and the hems, the hem all done, the zipper fly, and everything is all ready for us to move on.